In this lab, students learn about the mammalian dive response and try to figure out what factors trigger it. But first, what is the dive response? It is a physiological response that occurs in mammals to optimize blood flow and respiration during diving. It is characterized by three particular aspects, the first of which is apnea, or breath hold. Second is bradycardia, or a 10 to 25% reduction in heart rate. Third is peripheral vasoconstriction, where blood is directed away from non-essential tissues, such as skeletal muscle. This allows for greater blood flow to core organs, such as the brain. There are two parts to this lab. Part 1 involves students performing simulated dives to observe the three aspects of the dive response. Part 2 involves students creating their own experiments to identify the factors that trigger the dive response. We'll start with Part 1. Here, students begin with recording their resting heart rates, core body temperatures, and peripheral body temperatures, all before diving. They then submerge their faces to the level of their temples in tubs of cold water, which should be no more than 15 degrees Celsius. This simulated dive should be done for 30 seconds. Right after the dive, students again measure their heart rates and temperatures and then compare their pre- and post-diving data. They should observe decreases in heart rate, modest decreases in peripheral skin temperature, and modest increases in core body temperature. In Part 2, students design their own experiments to investigate what factors triggered the dive response. This means each student or group of students creates their own unique hypotheses. Some factors that are often tested include water temperature, the length of the dive, the level of pre-diving exercise, and the effects of body position. Ultimately, students will hopefully identify the two key factors: cold water coming into contact with the temples during diving. Overall, this is an extremely fun lab that does not require much of a setup cost and encourages students to think critically about physiological responses that occur in their bodies. We hope you have fun with it.